Tonight, Madira lawmaker Rigathi Gachagua and nominated Member of Parliament Godfrey Osotsi. But first, these are the stories making headlines tonight. Tonight, High Court halts the swearing-in of Nairobi Deputy Governor Anne Kananu as governor. Kananu took over as acting governor earlier today. Also tonight, President Uhuru Kenyatta hits at DP Ruto's hustler narrative terming it divisive. Tonight we tell you the president's plea to his central Kenya political backyard. Plus, government launches manhunt for a group of armed bandits that attacked security officers at the border of Turkana and Baringo counties. Tonight of all nights, Anne Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, the High Court has temporarily suspended the swearing-in of Nairobi Deputy Governor Anne Kananu as the Governor of Nairobi. The Law Society of Kenya and the Kenya Human Rights Commission have filed 2 cases challenging Kananu's assumption of office as governor. This hours after she assumed that office in an acting capacity. Mwangi Maina begins our broadcast tonight.
I, Anne Kananu Mwenda, do swear.
2 days after she assumed office as a Nairobi County Deputy Governor, it was all systems go for Anne Kananu Mwenda to ascend to the helm of City Hall as Nairobi County Governor, following the expiry of 60 days, which Speaker Benson Motora has been acting as governor, or before the lapse of the 60 days. Hours after assuming the governor's office in an acting capacity, Kananu's assumption of office as a governor now hangs in the balance after the High Court issued conservatory orders stopping the swearing-in of Kananu after the Kenya Human Rights Commission rushed to court, stopping any attempt to swear her in as a city governor.
It had already passed the stage of the county assembly approving a nominee for deputy governor. We already have a date set for the by-election. And how did we arrive at that state of affairs? We arrived at that state of affairs because by the time the impeachment decision was being made against Governor Sonko by the Senate, there was no substantive deputy governor of Nairobi.
Speaker Benson Motora relinquished his duties as acting governor, paving way for Kananu's smooth transition.
I now therefore relinquish my acting as the governor of Nairobi City County and resume my duties as the Speaker of the Nairobi County Assembly and allow Her Excellency Madam Anne Mwenda Kananu to proceed and assume the office of the governor in a substantive manner.
Kananu says her focus is to bring together a new spirit of cooperation as well as partnership with different arms of government, including the Nairobi Metropolitan Services.
For avoidance of doubt, my principal partner in delivering services in Nairobi is the Director General of Nairobi Metropolitan Services, Major General Mohammed Badi and his team. Nairobi is now back on course and will remain on course.
As a manager, Kananu says she is not a politician and has no intentions of becoming one. However, only time will tell since her office is purely political. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Moving on, the Council of Governors has been castigated by various trade unions for failing to take up its role in ensuring that the unending nurses' strike finally comes to a complete halt. The National Nurses Union, however, says it is open to talks with individual county governments, with 10 of them already settling on the negotiating table. Nanok Lauren with the details.
As the nurses' nationwide strike enters its 42nd day, the Council of Governors is still rigid in finalizing the return to work agreement, a step that will see the unending strike come to an end. The Council is now facing criticism from the trade union COTU and has been instructed to take up its duties of resolving the strike, which has paralyzed health operations in public facilities.
But Oparanya to say, I will not pay, as if the government budget allocation, the money that comes from taxpayers, are his own personal money. That was wrong. It's unacceptable, and I want to ask the government to ask the chairman of the Council of Governors to take personal responsibility on what is happening.
And if the council does not resolve the nurses' strike, even as it claims the matter is in the hands of the national government, the National Union of Nurses has alluded that the council has no value to Kenyans and is as good as dead.
You are holding the position of the chair of the Council of Governors on behalf of Kenyans. And if you say that the Council of Governors cannot handle a national issue that is running across the country, then we do not see the justification to continue having this thing called Council of Governors. It must then be disbanded because it has outlived its usefulness.
On Monday morning, President Uhuru Kenyatta made it clear that the striking health workers are on their own and are working under the county governments and not the national government. Among the demands nurses won't fulfill before returning to work include the 4 kinds of risk allowances. Contrary to 16 risk allowances, Governor Wycliffe Oparanya alleged they are demanding.
It is wrong for the governor to say that we are getting 16 allowances. I'm a senior nurse. I'm getting only 4 allowances, 3 of which are allowances which are common to almost every public servant. The only special allowance I'm getting is a nursing service allowance. Where did the governor for Kakamega come up with those 16 allowances he's talking about?
However, the union has stated its readiness to engage peaceful talks with individual county governments. Already 10 devolved governments, including Nyeri County, have begun their one-on-one peaceful talks with the nurses union in a bid to end a stalemate.
Already 10 governors have reached to us. They want us to have a county-based agreement based on what has been agreed at the national level. And I can be very sure that before the end of the week, we can have about 10 county governments signing a return to work agreement with this union, with the terms and conditions as agreed, and even if there will be a little modification, we will accept at that level.
Nano Cloren, TV 47.
Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has dismissed the dynasty versus hustler narrative that has continuously been fronted by Deputy President William Ruto's allies. Kenyatta, who spoke to a few Kikuyu radio stations earlier today, termed the narrative as divisive and a threat to national government. Ruth Mulandi with the details.
In now what seems to be the beginning of a bare-knuckled fight against the dynasty versus hustler nation narrative, President Uhuru Kenyatta expressed his distaste for the narrative, citing that it was destined to divide the country even further and threaten national development. The president adding that despite majority of Kenya's youthful population being jobless, politicians should not incite them against the rich. With the rift between the president and his deputy now seemingly deepening by the day, Kenyatta hinted a blow to the hustler nation who continued to transverse across the country, promoting an all-inclusive government with Ruto as the flag bearer come 2022. Uhuru, however, dismissed their campaigns, citing those campaign trails were filled with insults. He said, and I quote, "They think that if they continue insulting me, I will send officers to arrest them. I am where I am until when my term is over. I am busy working for the nation," end quote, warning the Mount Kenya region against being divided.
Kwina andu mena bata muno kurehe mugayukanio thiini wa andu aitu no urigayagirwo ukerwo ke ciringi ciaku 10 wethi ukeke uguo ke ciaku 20 thi ukahure uria ke ici ciaku 100 rimwe geke hari uria.
The head of state also defended the BBI push, terming it as a quest to unite the country. He continued to say, and I quote, "I have never declared BBI to be a battle for 2022 or for building this politician or destroying anyone. My goal is peace and unity for Kenyans," end quote. Kenyatta went ahead to tackle the issue of cost of a referendum despite the economical challenges faced in the country.
Tiga ukaha kuhingisha iria maiyaga o muthenya ni ikirite bilioni icio igire andu aya ni buri.
On matters Nairobi's now tangling leadership, the head of state admitted to have instigated the removal of former close ally, former governor Mike Uhuru-Sonko from office due to his consistent wrangles, further mentioning the big role he played in getting him elected only to let him down. Despite the heavy backlash the president continues to face in his backyard, he urged Mount Kenya residents to support his development cause through the initiative, as it was the best solution for Kenya. Ruth Mulandi, TV47.
Now, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has attacked Deputy President William Ruto on alleged land-grabbing allegations against him, dismissing the allegations. The Wiper Party boss further challenged Deputy President William Ruto to present himself for scrutiny on the source of his wealth in a lifestyle audit. Musa Salah has the details.
Kama wewe umekuwa mjumbe, umekuwa kiongozi, ukawa naibu wa rais, ukawa waziri katika karibu wizara zote, alafu ile record uko naye ni moja peke yake, eti mahali unaishi ilikuwa ni shamba ya serikali, huna record ingine.
In what was perhaps a warning to Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, Deputy President William Ruto on Friday made these allegations that have since not sitted well with the Wiper Party leader. Kalonzo inviting the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC to investigate the matter.
The allegations are a cheap and a desperate attempt at character assassination. I have nothing to hide, and I today challenge the authorities to open an investigation into this matter. I am today presenting myself for a thorough investigation by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation as well as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Kalonzo also challenging DP Ruto to present himself to the investigative agencies to answer on the several allegations facing the Deputy President.
I challenge DP Ruto alias Arap Mashamba, well known for his unbridled greed for both public and private land, to offer himself for investigation concerning the following scandals that are in the public domain.
Some of the allegations that have come to haunt DP Ruto include the alleged grabbing of Kenya's first Vice President Joseph Murumbi's land, the Langata Primary School and Western Hotel lands, as well as the alleged takeover of a 100-acre parcel of land belonging to Adrian Muteshi. Kalonzo also wants DP Ruto to explain the whereabouts of more than 300 million shillings that was allegedly swindled from Makindu Motors by unknown individuals who claim to have come from Ruto's office. Ruto is also expected to explain how he acquired large tracts of land in Taita Taveta, as well as his knowledge about the fake firearms deal that led to the death of Sergeant Kipyegon Kenei, a police officer attached to DP Ruto's office. The recent camera scandal that allegedly led to the alleged suicide of DP Ruto's bodyguard and the loss of some 4 billion shillings meant to construct the Aurora and Kimwarer dams have also taken center stage in the latest political strife between Ruto and Musyoka.
I urge Arap Mashamba to stop being hypocritical and to take responsibility for his misdeeds, which stink to the high heavens.
Kalonzo also called out Ruto for encouraging divisive politics.
It is so sad to know that DP Ruto has been fomenting bitter divisions and he did a class war instead of preaching unity. People of DP Ruto's ilk must not be given the chance to wreak havoc through hoofishly deceitful manipulations. They must be stopped on their tracks.
With Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka coming out gun-blazing at Deputy President William Ruto for alleged land grabbing, all eyes are now on Deputy President William Ruto to shed more light on Kalonzo's Yatta farm. Musa Salah, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Musa Salah, for that report. Away from politics, and police have launched a manhunt for a group of armed bandits who attacked a team of security officers from the Rapid Deployment Unit in Amayen area at the border between Baringo and Turkana. The government has strongly condemned yesterday's attack on security personnel, which claimed the life of one police officer. Modoni Maina reports.
Speaking at the regional offices in Nakuru, Natembeya confirmed that the Deputy Director of Operations was attacked and killed as he was planning on how to relocate the current General Service Unit camp from Kapedo village to a more strategic location. Interior CS Fred Matiang'i has condemned the attack on the security personnel, terming the attack as predetermined, cold-blooded, heinous attack on security personnel. Matiang'i adding that initial investigations revealed that the ambush took place against the backdrop of a ritual ceremony in which organized bandits were intentionally charged and adjured by some traditional leaders. According to Natembeya, 2 other officers are fighting for their lives in various hospitals after sustaining gunshot wounds, insisting that they were not on any operations. He noted that the matter was a blatant show of impunity, saying the same will be crushed with the necessary force to ensure no life is lost. 3 members of parliament, James Lomenen of Turkana South, John Lodepe of Turkana Central, and Mohammed Ali of Turkana East, are still stranded in the area. The lawmakers are now appealing to be evacuated. Locals have been warned against siding with goons challenging the government. Mudhoni Maina, TV 47.
Thank you, Mudhoni Maina, for that report. You are watching TV 47 News tonight with me, Abubakar Abdullahi. Time for us to take a short break. We will be back with more news right after this break.
When the clock strikes 7:30 p.m. every Monday, it means it's time for
The biggest challenge of starting a business in Kenya is the layers of licenses you need to pay.
The Grind. We tell you the do's and don'ts of business.
But the biggest fear was whether I'm going to make it in business or whether I'll lose my 150,000.
I say business is not about how much capital you have.
The Grind, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. It's been an amazing year in the kitchen here on The Throwdown. We brought you ugali and brown fish by Sophia. The tasty butter chicken from the classic Mayura restaurant. And the sweet Oreo cake dessert by Lillian. This year, we bring you bigger and better from more mouth-watering meals, kitchen hacks, restaurant reviews, and even street foods. Tune in to The Throwdown every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. When the clock strikes 7:30 p.m. every Monday, it means it's time for...
The biggest challenge of starting a business in Kenya is the layers of licenses you need to pay.
The Grind.
Or visit our
We
website
tell you
at www.nyaligolfview.com.
Welcome back to TV47 News Tonight with me, Abubakar Abdullahi. Thank you for staying with us. Now, Ford Kenya and Amani National Congress have pledged to conduct joint campaigns in the forthcoming Matungu and Kabuchai constituency in a bid to unite the Luhya nation. This as the Electoral Commission cleared a number of candidates for various by-elections in the country.
Ford Kenya and ANC are holding joint campaigns in Matungu and Kabuchai. ANC will field a candidate in Matungu and Ford Kenya to field a candidate in Kabuchai.
That what we talk about uniting is what we mean about uniting.
Kusumbuliwa, watu kutusukuma, watu kutudharau, watu kututusi. Sasa lazima tuambie tumechoka na mukome.
The demise of James Luswati of Kabuchai and Justus Murunga of Matungu. IEBC has also cleared 16 candidates in the upcoming Huruma Ward by-election slated for 4th March.
We have put in place measures to ensure that the Ministry of Health guidelines on the corona pandemic is observed.
The battle for Machakos senatorial seat has taken a new twist after Chama cha Uzalendo unveiled activist Lilian Duko Mwanzia as its candidate for the race. Others in the race are former Water Minister Mutua Katuku of Maendeleo Chapchap, Agnes Kavindu running on a Wiper ticket, and United Democratic Alliance's Abanas Ngengele. The seat fell vacant after the death of Boniface Kabaka.
I will be criticizing or oversighting the government of Machakos County. I have done it for almost 5 years, and I will continue to do it as a senator.
If you remember very well, the late Honorable Boniface Kabaka was very clear when it comes to this matter. He was very strong when it comes to matters of oversight. And I'm very happy that Lily is not only going for this seat after we lost our party leader and our good friend. She was also a good friend to Senator. They've worked several times in many other things. They have kept in touch in many matters.
Elsewhere, campaigns for Kitise Kithuki Ward in Makueni County are officially opened after candidates return their papers to the IBC offices in Watered Town, Makueni. Makueni constituency returning officer Ibrahim Guyo says that by the end of today they will have cleared 6 candidates among the 8 contestants who have shown interest in the seat.
And tomorrow we're going to have 2. And after that, we're going to have a campaign schedule where all aspirants will meet together with me. We arrange and so that they will do a peaceful campaign.
Well, that story was produced by Paul Kirobi but voiced by Nancy Kimiyu. Elsewhere, a number of political leaders are on the spotlight for ignoring the COVID-19 directives from the Ministry of Health. Deputy President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga have been in public addressing their supporters, attracting huge crowds who are not adhering to the COVID-19 guidelines. Our senior reporter Sharon Baranga with the details.
A church service is on at Nairobi's Eastlands area. Among those in attendance is former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. The choir goes about its duty in leading the service. Social distancing seems foreign here, while face masks appear to be an item worn just to be seen. Raila then goes on a Meet the People tour around estates in Eastlands. A crowd was out yearning to listen from him. Raila is not wearing a face mask. Those with face masks on did not put them on properly. Some did not have the face masks and there was no social distancing. Another leader who seems not to give a hoot on the COVID-19 guidelines from the Ministry of Health is Deputy President William Ruto. Here, he is seen attending a political gathering in Kajiado County close to those who were ushering him to the meeting. They are all not wearing face masks. Some of the leaders accompanying Ruto did not have face masks. For instance, Turkana County Governor Josephat Nanok,
this country has gone to dogs.
Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen,
kulete mageuzi ya kikatiba,
and former majority leader in the National Assembly Aden Duale, among others. However, there is a concern that the spread of COVID-19 might spike in the country if political gatherings such as these ones will continue taking place, contrary to directives from the Ministry of Health, which emphasize on everyone should have a face mask that is properly worn when in public, as well as adhere to social distancing rules. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, hawa wananchi ndio wana.
Now, leaders from Marsabit County have decried increased cases of insecurity in the county. The leaders claim that the county has lost more than 700 cattle in the attacks that have so far left hundreds of casualties. The leaders are now appealing to the national government to deploy more security officers in the region.
Our demand is these criminals must be caught up with, brought to book, justice be done to the families who have lost their dear ones.
And I'm saying Uhuru is involved because since he used Article 223 to get fund and create the 2 sub-counties, he has been going with a helicopter every weekend, mobilizing what is happening at the moment right now. This guy should actually be arrested and removed from the office with the immediate effect. We cannot sit back and wait.
To say this from the onset, that there is a well-planned, organized strategy to displace the Borana community from both Isiolo and Marsabit. That I must say.
Moving on, few hours after NCPB adjusted maize prices upward from 2,500 to 2,700 shillings per 90 kg bag, farmers in Uasin Gishu County have vowed not to sell their maize to NCPB until the prices will be increased to 3,000 shillings. The farmers say that the new prices do not meet their cost of production and other expenses at the farm and prefer selling their maize to private millers. They criticize the government for not consulting them in making decisions concerning the new prices.
Msitarajie kupata mahindi katika nakala ya National Cereals and Produce Board. Hiyo mahindi wakulima wamekatakata kabisa, unless muongeze bei. Tafadhali weka bei kwa 3,000 na juu, alafu uandike kitu inaitwa rebate. Rebate hiyo ndio itasaidia wakulima. Na nikiwa hapa kuna wakulima wako na mahindi kunia 2,000, 5,000, 1,000 ngapi, lakini wamekataa. Nikiwa mmoja wao, hata mimi nimekataa. Siwezi kubali hiyo bei sababu haijafika bei ile inatakikana. Kwa hivyo tungeomba muongeze bei ikuwe 3,000 na kwenda juu.
For now tunaomba serikali iongeze ikuwe 3,500 na wataona bila wakulima watatoa mahindi. Oresa kuna mkulima atapeleka mahindi cereals, labda mwenye amelazimishwa kiasi, lakini kwa sasa wakulima watapeleka mahindi yao kwa private millers, sababu hata bei ya private millers ni afadhali. Jambo lingine ni kwamba kwa nini tusihusishwe? Ni nani huyu anatoa bei kila wakati? So tunaomba kama ingewezekana, mambo ya wakulima wahusishe wakulima wenyewe, wakulima walete hoja zao, waongelee mbele ya wenye wanahusika ili tuweze kupata bei nzuri na wakulima pia wasiendelee kulalamika.
Let's get to the world of sports now, and Mathare United finally picked their first win of the season, scoring 2 early goals to edge out Zoo Kericho 2-0 in an FKF Premier League match at the Kasarani Stadium on Monday afternoon. Daniel Otieno and John Mwangi were on target in the 6th and 11th minute respectively as the Slum Boys